What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Neeks Sports, episode 92 of the Neeks Sports podcast. And today we are recapping the Euro 2024. Before we get into that, I'm here with Kyle, Ramsey, Jay. How you lot doing?
Good. I'm a bit startled. I was in the lobby waiting for quite some time. That music just threw me. I didn't expect it.
It's true.
It was so
I was looking
loud.
down. I just heard ding.
It
I was like, "What?"
was supposed to startle you, Kyle, and nudge you into thinking, "Oh God, I need to make a new theme tune." I totally forgot, so I'm glad I didn't do this show.
Literally, I was like, "Whoa!" Jumped up. I was like, "Oh, let me get my face on."
Everyone have a good Euros.
Yeah. To be fair, I the Euros went as well as it could for me. I mean, my team won, so I'm happy.
It was awful, man. It was awful.
I think overall, I think it was a bit of a poor tournament. Just in terms of
I couldn't.
Yeah, I agree.
I
agree.
When you actually look at it, like, okay, who are the top teams, like by name at least? Germany has the hosts. France, England as top two favorites. Spain, Italy, these are the big teams. I guess Netherlands by name as well.
Portugal.
Portugal, of course, yeah. And really and truly, only Spain and Germany can say, "Yeah, we actually played well," and even maybe play to our potential. No, that's not true. Not play to their potential. I think there's other teams. Like I think Netherlands play to their potential. I just don't think they're very good. Like for me, getting to the semi-finals, overachievement. I don't think that team's very good. But in terms of saying these teams played well, they were good quality teams. You're talking Spain and Germany, and even I was never really convinced about Germany. I always knew that once they came up against a good side, and I didn't have Spain as like my favorites, so I kind of knew once they come up against a good side, they're gonna get, I won't say found out, but just gonna get beat because I just don't think they were what they used to be. But ultimately they lost to the eventual champion, so it's like maybe if they face a France or a Portugal or England, could they have beaten them? Maybe, but France. Disappointing, like massively disappointing. Their best game was probably the game they lost to Spain. Portugal, poor throughout. I don't think they really had a game where you can say, yeah, it was a good game. And England, poor throughout. England had a good 45 minutes against Netherlands. That was about it. Like it was bad. It was bad. But before we get into the recap, everyone is in the chat. Make sure you smash the like button. Sammy in the chat says, "Can we stop putting Portugal as one of the favorites before these tournaments? They are slightly of Wolves."
I mean, they didn't start as one of the favorites, did they? I mean, France and Spain were top two favorites.
Yeah, I think Portugal were third. Yeah. What do you say? France and England were top two.
Yeah, France and England were top two. Yeah. And I think Germany were third as host nations. Were they not?
No, I don't think so. Maybe in Germany they might have been, but I don't think Germany definitely got bumped up because of the fact they were host nations. Adaj Free says Spain were golden in the Euros that was met overall. The young rising stars stepped up, but the established stars were awful. I did get that impression that it seemed like a tournament of youth. When you're talking about the players who's going to be the ones to step up, it was like you're talking about all the young players. Even for England, you're like, who are you turning to? Saka, Foden, Palmer, Bellingham. Those were the ones who were expected to drag their team or to come up with that moment. The odd, more experienced or older player here and there, but yeah, I think
all the experienced men them are finished.
Yeah. I mean, some of them older than others. Obviously, Cruz literally is finished. He's retired. Modric old, Ronaldo old, Kane flagging. I don't think he's finished, like some people have said. He may have been carrying an injury. I have no idea, but he came off the back of a good season.
And Dusky was poor as well.
Yeah, he was. Even missed penalty.
Man are just tired, man. They need to relax. All this sports science is just a facade, man. Them men are finished.
But yeah, it was. I think the youth. This was a tournament maybe that the youth kind of stepped through. Maybe 2026 World Cup. Those youth players are now the senior, not senior, but like the most important players. The ones who you go into those tournaments expectant. Yamal and Nico Williams. We knew what they could do. By the end of it, it was like you're gonna win the game, and now they're gonna go into the World Cup and.
They're going to be in their 20s,
no, at the World Cup, it's going to maybe 18, mate.
I know it's going to be 18. Yamal's going to be 18 and Nico Williams going to be 20. Like, it's crazy.
Wait, what? Isn't it? When is it? 3 years from now, or is it 2
years? No, 2 years. 2 years.
Every
2 years. Okay, cool.
I mean,
every 4
Yamal's not even going to be 20 by the time the next Euros come around. He's going to turn 20, like maybe the day before the final or something like that.
It's crazy. Very
I would have played on 3 tournaments before he turned 20,
Yeah.
That's madness. Absolute madness.
Why does he look so cold, man? I don't even know who he was.
Because he is cold. I don't know. We'll get on to who knew what and what knew who when we go for our predictions.
Who the heck is that guy?
Sammy says, "Oh yeah, I'll come to that, Dad." Sammy says, "HH and Yan having a field day with Kane on Twitter." I just got to ask Yan where Erling Haaland was at the tournament, because I don't know, innit? I don't know. So there's other strikers there. Don't forget about Lukaku. Oh my god.
Are we still? Is this guy still even being spoken about? Like, honestly,
as Golden Boot winner. What kind of?
Who picked him as Golden Boot?
Adaj free.
Stop this, man. Stop this.
I don't know. I think it's a free. I don't know. Are you Ghanaian? It's a free. The opposite E in Ghanaian. I don't know. I don't know.
No, stop this, man. Lukaku needs put that guy to rest, man.
I can't. Golden Boot. Has he even won a Golden Boot in any competition ever in the history of like top flight football? Because I don't think he's ever been Golden Boot in the Premier League. I don't think he was Golden Boot in Syria. I don't think he's been Golden Boot winner in any of the. Potentially could have been one of the Euros. Maybe they shared it or something like that. Lukaku could have won Golden Boot in his first game. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, all these goals disallowed and everything. Let me get started on that guy, man.
He's got a World Cup bronze boot.
I didn't even know that existed.
Neither did I, to be fair.
But listen, let's not beat around the bush or delay any further. We have to talk about one thing. We'll get onto the intricacies of the Euros, but we have to talk about one thing, one man and one man only, and that is Gareth Southgate. So Gareth Southgate earlier today stepped down from his post as England manager, resigned after nearly 8 years. Obviously, he joined in 2016, got to the quarterfinals of World Cup 2018, got to the semi-finals of 2018, got to the final of Euro 2020, which was played in 2021, World Cup quarterfinals, and got to a final of Euro 2024. But he decided to resign at the end of the tournament. I'm going to come to our resident England fans. That's just 2 at the bottom. I'm going to come to Jay first. Don't let that Arsenal Jamaica top fool you. There's bigger England fans than this. He tries to pass it off as France and silly, but no, don't worry about that.
France and silly.
But I'm going to come to Jay first, because obviously he's had a lot to say about Southgate over the years. A lot to say about international football in general over the years. And even during this tournament, it's funny because, I let him go, but
no, go and say it.
The vitriol towards Southgate stopped as soon as he resigned. Like during the tournament, it was I hate that, rubbish, this and that. And as he resigned, thanks Southgate, great, Gary, hey G, hey my main man G.
No, I just said good. He's like as in good.
No, I'm saying that you were showering with praise after he left.
I thank you for what you've done.
It was nothing but.
Yeah, because it's just.
But go ahead, go ahead. Let us know what's your thoughts.
It was the worst tournament he has had with them, and he somehow is in a final. It baffles me. Everyone's like, "Oh, England's got a chance." No, no. There was no chance. Look at how the games were played. It was shambolic. It was just clutch moments. Somehow, the players somehow just did something, but it was awful. France was awful. Like, it's on. I know we're talking about England, but this tournament has been awful. How England judged their way to a final is beyond me. And this was it. I was like, he has to go now. He just has to, because I think he's done all he can do. Like, he made the nation fall back in love with England, but he should have left.
He turned you on. Southgate, you're the one.
Maybe them man. Maybe them man, but maybe them man. But he I think he should have left at the last tournament. He should have just left. But I'm glad that he stepped down now before it got toxic, because it was only gonna get worse. It was only gonna get worse. Now I know the question is now, who's gonna come in?
We'll get there.
No, I know. But I'm just saying, I know everyone's gonna be thinking that and whatever, but it doesn't matter about that right now, because even if Southgate stayed, the regression would happen. So it doesn't matter. Like, we might as well just get someone in, and hopefully that person could then take what Gareth has done and get it across the line and do better. So you keeping him here is only going to make the team regress. So that's my thoughts on it. Like I said, when it comes to that, that's my thoughts on it. But international football, man, I'm so glad it's over. I've always said this. I do not like international football. It's a hindrance to
But you did say in the group chat that Southgate has made international football watchable again.
Yeah, it made it slightly watchable, but I can't stand it in general. Because at least, like, I got to see the players that I see on a weekly basis play well for once. Like, that's what I like to see. Like, before, it was these players that I watch week in, week out, go to the main stage, get injured, play awfully, and just waste time. And then Gareth made it look interesting. So at least while the season was off, I was able to enjoy some kind of football. But I'm just like, no, it's just too much now. Like, I don't like, there is just, like, nothing is happening here. We need something to take them to the next line. But for me personally, like, you know me and my thoughts on international football. But yeah, it was time for him to go. Yeah, thank you, but let's move on now. That's all I can say on it. Like, it just, like, come on, man. This was awful. This was a bad tournament. Bad.
Ramsey, there's a comment here from Solo. Says, I think people can blame Southgate for a lot, but Foden is a different story. The man has never shown up for England once. 40-something games, only 4 goals. How do you rate Southgate's tenure as? Wait, can I was move to Ramsey?
Sorry, go on.
How do you rate Southgate's tenure, firstly, as England manager? Should he have stepped down? And how do you rate this tournament? Obviously, there's blame flying left, right, and center. Where does Southgate rank in the list of finger pointers at us?
Firstly, I'm not surprised he called it a day, because I think I said last week before the final, I think he leaves regardless. I just felt like there was a moment. It may have been like after the Slovakia game when he was so close to getting absolutely, was it Slovakia or Slovenia, one of them, that when they got through the last minute, the Bellingham overhead kick. That was like he was about to be fed to the wolves. Then he was about to be destroyed, and rightly so. Going out to a team like that, and like it just felt like 8 years is a long time in international management. People don't tend to stay that long. And to be fair, he's done well. World Cup semi-final, back-to-back European finals. Like, you can't ask for much more than that, really. Like, obviously, you can ask to win it, but ultimately, they're beaten by the better teams in all 3 of those games. Croatia, Italy, and Spain. Maybe on paper they were.
But this is the question:
That
should they be the better teams, or were they just the better
maybe,
team during the match?
maybe, but I think it's in the tournaments they weren't necessarily. And this is the issue with the reason why. Listen, the reason why they didn't win the tournaments because they weren't the best teams in those tournaments. Like that's it. And you don't always have to be the best teams to win it, but the majority of the time it is. I think I said the stats, especially in the Euros, the favourites tend to win them. The favourites in the competition, like Spain, for example, in the final, tend to win them in the final. It's rare that someone who's not the favourite doesn't win the game. And England didn't come in as favourites in that final, and didn't win the competition. I think. Yeah, with the man for man, we look at the players. Maybe he should have done better. Maybe he should have got the team playing better for sure. And that that will always be maybe something that if they did play better, could they have got into the momentum and the form to be the best team going into the final to win the game? Maybe. But yeah, ultimately, you can't really argue on the actual day of each of those finals that they just weren't the better team on those days, and that's maybe something he will have to live with and be regretful. But ultimately, the next person coming in, he's got a tough act to follow because Southgate's done well. Like he's got England. He's got England. Like I think he's got England. Like I think they said top 5 in the FIFA World Rankings like consistently since he's been there.
for 7, I think it's 6 or 7 years in a row.
Yeah.
And before that, the longest they've been in the top 5 for any one point was like 6 months.
That's what I'm saying. So like. He's just not got over that final hurdle, and that's the only thing. Other than that, he's exceeded expectations. No one ever would have thought when Sam Allardyce got sacked after one game, he was going to come in as a temporary for 1 month as being under 21 manager and then do this. Like that's mad what he's actually done if you think about it like that. But obviously you're judged on the trophies, and he's another English manager that failed to win a trophy.
Are you judged on the trophies? Like are you? Because England won 1 trophy in their whole. Ever. 1966. Nothing before, nothing since. Not even a final since there before Southgate. So it's like saying Brighton are judged on trophies. It's like or let's say it's like Aston Villa being judged on trophies. Like maybe in 1966 they were, but why are we judging Southgate on trophies that they haven't won in 58 years? At some point you have to be realistic and say, you know what? Maybe we ain't as big as we thought we were. Maybe we're big by name, but small by nature. Like I think there's a bit of some overconfidence or I don't know.
Maybe, but
players
maybe man for man, again, you have to look at the quality of the players.
Really? How good are they really?
Pre-tournament, we were talking about Phil Foden, the best player in the Premier League this year. Okay. Harry Kane, best player in Bundesliga this year, and Jude Bellingham, arguably one of the best players in La Liga this year. So we're talking about 3 of the best players from 3 of the best leagues.
Jordan Pickford, Kieran
yeah, but
Trippier.
If you think about it, the defense wasn't the problem in this tournament. That's the main thing.
Because they were a defensive team.
Yeah, but they overachieved what everyone was probably expecting. With that, the weakness was going to be that they were going to concede loads of goals and go out. The front line was probably going to keep them in the tournament. But it was the other way around.
The thing is, and I'm going to come to Kyle in a second as well. The common theme throughout Southgate's tenure has been the defense has been the weakest part. When they look at the squad, they say, "Oh, the problem is the defense," but the defense has never been an issue. And his biggest criticism is that he's too defensive. So, is the defense not an issue because he decides to set up defensively? I.e., if he decides to play a bit more attacking, maybe defense will then become an issue because they're asked to do more one-on-one defending. So you kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. You can play to your strengths and leave yourself open at the back, or you can negate your weaknesses and hope that your attacking brilliance can get you those results. And ultimately, whichever way it's happened, through luck of the draw, individual brilliance, whatever, he's been able to negate the weaknesses by having a strong defense throughout his tenure. And ultimately, moments of brilliance, whatever it might be, they've got the results that have led them to 2 finals. And as you said, the next person has a massive task on their hand. I'm going to ask Kyle. So does a better manager, I don't know what a better manager is, but does a more attacking manager, a manager who gets the best out of their attacking players or their best players, does he win Euro 26 for England? Does he win World Cup 28. Because that's really what people are saying. Like, Southgate should have done better with this team. He got to 2 finals and lost one on penalties and one in the last minute. So what is better with this team? You have to win. So does Eddie Howe or a Graham Potter, who played more attacking football, win the Euros and the World Cup with this team?
The thing is, a better manager or a more attacking manager, I wouldn't even say an attacking manager, but just a better manager would win. Like the crop of players that he has at his disposal, get into 2 finals, and even in the World Cup, get into the semi-final and losing to Croatia. Like out of all 3 of those tournaments, the World Cup and the 2 Euros, out of all 3 of those tournaments, a better manager brings home something. They bring home something, and you may ask, what's a better manager? But if I go to the most extreme, you say you look at the best manager in the world, a Jurgen Klopp or Pep Guardiola. 100%, they win one of those 3 tournaments. 100% with those players, they win one of those 3 tournaments. One of the Euros, either one of the Euros or World Cup, and potentially even 2. Like, but we're saying that a better manager, and
No.
I don't rate Gareth Southgate that highly. Yet he has gotten to 2 Euro finals in a row.
I was specific because I said, and I highlighted Potter and Howe. The reason why, because anyone can say, I can pick any team from that Euros. Like, give me the top 8 teams in the Euros, and I'll say Pep Guardiola wins the thing with them. Like, anyone can do that.
Fair enough.
And I know, but no one's gonna get Pep Guardiola. Jurgen Klopp, potentially. You know, he's available as he's not in a job, potentially. But aside from them two, like, we could be realistic. Ancelotti's not available, and I don't know what.
Well, put it like this: a more attack. So Potter, I think, wins this tournament.
Please,
Please,
Kyle.
What did you say? I didn't quite.
You must be talking about Harry, because you know where you're talking about Graham.
Graham Potter wins the tournament. Mad.
I do. I think he does. It's like,
I know it's not the same. I know it's not the same.
No, I know it's not the same.
So much from Brighton, and he flopped when he had the big opportunity. I can't like that.
No, but you have to understand, like, he would go with a certain mentality, a certain style of play, which I think would suit England. Because I said it from the very start. I don't know if you lot ever remember. I said it from the very start. I said, with the way Southgate sets up, with the way I've seen him play in previous tournaments, and the way he sets up, and he tells his team to go out and play. Like you said, Neeks, he's a very defensive coach. Like, he sets up defensively. I said from the very start, it doesn't suit Harry Kane. If he's gonna play the same way in this tournament, Harry Kane can't start. But you can't not start Harry Kane. He's England's captain. He's basically the star man. And as poor as he was throughout the tournament, he still had to start him. People were calling it from after 2-3 games. Tony Watkins got to start. Harry Kane is just not doing it right now. He's just not doing it right now. The way what do you call it? Southgate has them set up. It doesn't suit Harry Kane. Yet the Harry Kane we saw this season, busting all records that in Bundesliga, scoring 1 million goals. Why have we not seen that Harry Kane? It's not like he came into this tournament in poor form. It's not like he came in short of goals this season. He was firing on all cylinders at every junction of the season for Bayern Munich. So there's no excuse for him to not be performing. But we know why it is. It's because the way Southgate sets up his teams. So with Graham Potter, and the only reason why I say he would win it is because of the route. Now, if the route was more like Spain's route, where they played Italy in the group, they played Germany in the knockouts, they played France in the semis, and they played England in the final, no, Potter's not going to win it. But we're talking about the only real team that they played was Spain in the final. I don't even consider Netherlands a real team, because quite frankly, they're poor as well. They're defensively
what
poor.
you're saying is Potter would have won the final. That's the only game that Southgate did. That's really what we're putting it down to. Potter would have won. You see me? Like, I think Southgate is not a good manager. Like, he's not a good manager. I don't want him at Man United. Thank God, 10 out of 10. He got a rude Van Nistelrooy there, man. But he has to be given full credit for what he has done at
Oh,
England.
100%. I
Once
do.
again,
100% I do.
without any but because when all is said and done, he got to 2 finals and a semi-final. And I know it's not a trophy, but as Sammy said, Pep had the best team in the UCL City for 6 years, and he only has 1 UCL. Anything can happen in cup football.
Did he have the best team for 6 years?
England have no divine right, based on their history, based on their players, based on just the laws of football, to win any tournament. But somehow he's been able to get this team to a position where year after year, tournament after tournament, they're going deep in tournaments. There was a time, and I know everything's not the same, but there was a time England weren't even guaranteed to qualify for tournaments. Last minute, England's one of their biggest moments. If David Beckham scored a last-minute equaliser against Greece to qualify for World Cup 2002, they failed to qualify for. Was it World Cup 94? I think it was World Cup 94 they failed to qualify. They failed to qualify for Euro 2008. And I know. And then they got knocked out to Iceland, out of the groups in different tournaments. Southgate picked up a rag bag of a nation, an absolute nation in the mud. And actually,
I would say you just can't get any worse. You know, I probably could have picked up the rag bag of nations. And
you say that, but Hodgson is a serious, like he's a manager who's got some clout in the game, and he had them getting knocked out to Iceland. Reality is,
but this is the problem, though.
He picked them up and made them relevant. He made them actually a nation where you can say, England going to this tournament. Like the expectation of the nation for England to win is because of what Southgate done. Don't get me twisted. The players are good, but yes, Foden was good at Man City, and he was the best player in the Premier League. But he's not short of world-class players around him. So I'm not saying he ain't a good player or a very good player.
Used properly.
But when all is said and done, England probably have 1 world-class player. And he ain't never won a trophy. And I'm not saying Spain's got a bunch of world-class players, but that's what you're dealing with. Really, it's all this talent.
Yeah, Spain got 0, mate.
Well, Rodri's, of course, world-class.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is the point. Like look, there was a point in the game.
What I'm saying is they got 1 world-class player. So they're not guaranteed to do anything. Yeah, you got to a final. And then you get to a final against a team who's also got another world-class player and good talented players. And it's a toss of the coin. So people say, if you play more attacking.
Yeah, they both got talented players.
Yeah. So it's a toss of a coin. He lost 2-1. Like, and he might have won. Like, if Saka, Rashford, and Sancho score their penalty,
I hear you.
Like,
I hear you. But the problem is
success and Southgate
the
failure.
problem here is because you have to look at it. Well, now that we've lost, you have to look at it. And where did it go wrong? It went wrong. Kane's starting. That we have to look at that. Who's for? That's a look at Southgate. He's been poor all tournament. Yet Kane is starting every single one of them. He shouldn't have started that final. Foden looked great, but there was no product. So maybe he should have started.
It's very easy for fans to say, not just you said it, but Kane shouldn't be starting. It's very easy to say when you don't have to make.
No, you're right. You're right. It's but what easy. What have we seen? Everything.
I'm going to give you an example. Mbappe was poor all tournament. Man probably couldn't even see out of the mask. He actually looked better with the mask. I think the mask really actually did hinder him.
And that's where these managers are wrong. You have to drop what you have to drop.
When every manager's doing the same thing, at some point you got to say, you know what? I have to lay off the man. I understand because
I don't.
Because if
Kane don't start.
If France dropped Mbappe and got knocked out, the manager is getting absolute pelters. If a Southgate dropped Kane and Watkins misses a sitter, Southgate's getting absolute pelt. Unless you win.
Yeah, but either way you're getting pelted. So
for me, at least if you win, as long as you don't win, if you don't win, you're damned if you do, because someone's gonna find something that you should have done.
Exactly, you're damned if you do. So damned if you don't. So just do it.
But it doesn't
But-
matter.
He's
I
not
said it
playing
doesn't
well.
matter.
Just do it.
No, but I think, but on what Neeks was saying, I think it, the fact that we got to a point that Kane's coming off in the 60th minute is mad in itself.
It's crazy.
We've never even been here
Echo,
before. This is
start.
the first time. This is the first time we've been to a place where Kane is now coming off to try and get England to win a game. That's never happened in the last 5 years of Southgate's tenure.
Martinez didn't even
So
want to
he's-
take off Ronaldo. He's 39
Listen,
years old.
But as Nick said, it's the same thing on. It's the same thing with Messi. It's the same thing with Ronaldo. It's the same thing with Mbappe. These players,
These
you
managers
don't
need
want-
to get some balls.
yeah, but also these players are the ones that can win you the game out of nothing. That's the reason why they're there in the
Yeah,
first place.
but
Because
they won the game out of nothing.
also,
Kane
yeah,
ain't
but
done
also,
it, though.
but also, let's be frank. Kane's had an amazing season as well. It's not like he's coming on bad form. It's not like he's coming with 3 goals in 20 games. The man has got a golden boot in the Bundesliga and torn it up completely. We're looking at record-breaking Bundesliga numbers out here. The difference is, for me, and what I said is that the fact that the problem that Southgate had, in my opinion, and I might be wrong, but he never had the runners to go alongside Kane that he used to have before. When he had Sterling, Rashford, Saka, all playing around Kane, he had runners to be able to that they could make runs in behind to help him. At Bayern Munich, he's got Sane and Coman and Musiala, a lot of players that will do that job. In this tournament, he had some of the. I mean, like he had Gordon, but he obviously chose not to play him. He obviously didn't want to have the risk of.
So then,
of
therefore,
playing him.
it's
playing him.
Southgate's fault again.
Yeah,
All
but
I'm
listen,
hearing is
regardless of whatever happens, England didn't win the World Cup or Euros because of Southgate. Yeah, cool. But they got to the reason they got to the final in the first place was also because of Southgate. So it's like, yes, okay, there's things he could have done better, and maybe like we all put our hats on and say, oh yeah, he should have done that, should have done that to win it. But ultimately, he got them to a final that he almost shouldn't
I
have.
hear that. I hear that, but we're
Right,
looking
let me ask you
at
a
the
question,
points that.
Jay, let me ask you a question.
Go on.
Let's say he dropped Kane for the final,
Yes.
and they lost 2-0. Argument say lost 2-0. Oh, you know what? They lost 2-1. Same thing.
That's not Kane's fault.
No. Wait. You
Go
still
on.
want him out. You still want Southgate out.
At least change something.
No.
Go for the game.
One to the point I made. You still want him out, right?
Yes.
So it's not about Kane. It's not about who he selected. It's all about whether you win or not.
No, but it is part of the problem.
So are you saying that if he had played Watkins, they would have won?
I'm saying try something different.
He did.
Look at what
He
is
Watkins 30 minutes and he miscontrolled the ball in the area. That's what happened.
even more than 30 minutes. This is a
That's
flipping
what he
90-minute
did.
match.
That's a
Even more
football.
than that.
That's a football. You don't get more than 30 minutes.
You start Watkins. All I'm saying is look at when England scored, when he brought Palmer on and they scored, made it equal. Why did everyone drop back?
See,
They should have continued that pressure.
I want to touch on that because
They should have kept on that pressure because they
and
were
I
looking rattled.
like this.
But no, we sit back. Come on, man. Whose fault is that? Come on, I can't, man.
There's the manager always has to take responsibility. Doesn't mean whether he's most to blame or least to blame, whatever it might be. The manager has to take some responsibility. The players 100% have to take some responsibility as well. Sometimes more, sometimes less. I think what Southgate's biggest handicap this tournament was actually, for me, his persistence with Foden. And
yes, 100%.
It's persistence, but also his faith in Foden. Because his faith in Foden meant that he felt that he probably didn't need to take Rashford. Because Foden's my guy and he's starting every game. And he started every game. Didn't have to take Sterling. Didn't have to play Gordon, or didn't play Gordon rather.
Ridiculous.
And if you look at the final, he brought on Palmer for Mainu. Fair enough. Should have brought him on for Foden. But
yeah, exactly. I was like, why is Mainu coming off? That guy is so sick.
Foden stays on the pitch. He's got more attackers on the pitch. They scored a goal. I don't even have an issue with them sitting back. But you don't sit back when Rice is your only midfielder. All you got on the pitch is all attackers now. You got Foden, Bellingham, Palmer, Saka, Kane, and Rice. And now whether you ask them or they decided to, whatever it might be, the way that you've designed your game plan is to now sit back now that you got the goal. If you're going to do that, then at that point, soon as Palmer scores, then you take off Foden and bring on a midfielder. So then allow you to actually sit back in a counter-attacking style with players in their proper positions. But he sat back with Foden and all the other attackers. They've ended up conceding. Then he's taken off Foden to bring on a striker. So in those, what Southgate is 100% guilty of at different stages of different tournaments is his in-game management being reactive as opposed to proactive. 100%. Criticism is right. Criticism is due. But there's criticism and there's sack the manager. And that's where me and maybe others would differ. Because for me, you can criticize a manager and still back him to get the job done more so than another manager you got unless you got for me a proven manager in the coffers in the like waiting room coming in. You have to back the manager who's got you to 2 finals, because no matter how well the next manager plays, no matter how fancy his football might seem, as Ramsey said earlier, he's going to come in with a hell lot of pressure. So that manager's going to come in. He's going to play all this passing, 60% possession, get knocked out of the quarterfinals by Netherlands, and everyone's going to say, well, this England team should be winning it. And he's going to come back to the same point I'm making. It's not about how you play. It's not about who you play. It's purely about the result. And if we can all accept that, then we can just talk about the result. But people are using all these other things when in reality, all they care about is the result. Because I know that after the next tournament, when Potter gets knocked out in the last 16, no one ain't going to be saying, well, at least he played good football. Well, I will be. I'll be saying it. At least he played good football. This is what you asked for. Because I just think, listen, it's a results business, and everyone can't win. Only one.
You're right. You know, I want to add to that. Yes, you're right. I've always said it's a results business. I've always agreed to that and said at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how I play. I don't care if I play stink football. My issue isn't even the stink football. My issue is it's the stubbornness and it's and the blind faith to players. That is what's pissing me off. And I think that's why it's time to go, because that blind stubbornness and blind faith is costing. It's costing. It could potentially cost, because obviously ifs, buts, and maybes, it is part of the reason what is costing.
But as bad
that's me.
As bad as his in-game management is, as bad as it has been, he still managed to bring on Watkins to get him a goal, to get him to the finals. He still managed to bring on Tony to get him a winning goal.
I mean, why does it have to be a heart attack though? It could have been done in 90 minutes.
It could have, but but it was still his in-game management that got them there in the first place. As much as the last part wasn't done, as much as it was, you have to give him credit for getting that what he did right.
Yeah, but it was a little too late.
Yeah, but
those changes should have been the start, and it could have been obviously we don't know. It could have been a different story. Yes, we could have lost 3-1. Who knows? But I personally don't think any team he plays is beating Spain in that final. Personally, and I didn't think that going into the game. I didn't think they were going to win going into the game. I thought Spain would win regardless. I don't think Watkins starts means England win the final. I don't think. No, it doesn't. But we won't ever know. We won't ever know.
Yeah, but he's chosen the team that he thinks is best suited to in the final, and I don't even blame him for that. Really, this team that he played from start to finish, no matter what you say, has got him to a final. And I'm talking about just the squad in general. The whole squad, the 25-man squad, has brought him to a final in the end. So why should he change it now? Okay, in hindsight, maybe you should have started Ramsdale in goal. Maybe you should have started bloody. Who's my man? Adam Wharton in DM. Like, maybe you should have done all that. But the reality is these man got him to the final. So if they got him all the way here now, surely you might as well just stick with it. You might as well. Because if he changed it now, he'll probably go to bed thinking, Imagine I just
The
stuck with my
brother
team.
knew he.
I think that's
the-
worse. I think that's worse. I think if he changes the team now, he will not be able to sleep. At least he knows that, boom, I stuck to my principles and we didn't
The
win in the end, but it
brother-
got me to a final.
The brother knew he was going to retire after this game. Why the hell did he not just say, to hell with it? Let's try it. Let's throw a
because
curveball.
he believes in what.
Listen, the fact that he played
And
Luke Shaw
exactly
was
that's
him
the
saying to
problem.
hell with it. That's what he said, to hell with it. He said, Luke Shaw, you're playing to hell
Listen,
with
he
it.
wanted
Win
to
me the
play Luke
tournament.
Shaw. He was just
Because
injured.
Luke Shaw won me.
Listen,
Luke Shaw scored me
nah,
a goal in
stop
the
it,
last
man.
Euros final. To hell with it. You're going in and win me the game. That was his big roll of
Well,
the
listen.
dice.
Bottom line is anyway. And
Holden.
when all is said and done, Southgate is the one who stepped down. England, we know England the FA wanted to keep him on. He decided to step down, and I don't have an issue with that. It's it's his personal decision. I'm happy that the FA didn't take into account the noise of a lot of the fans, pundits, media, whatever it is, who wanted him to be sacked. And they allowed him, and I think rightfully so, to make that decision, considering he is England's most successful manager since Alf Ramsey, which was long before all of us were born.
Successful.
So yeah,
we
we
got success is managed by what you win. They ain't been successful.
so unless Brighton win the Premier League, you can't class.
And they're not successful. They're not successful.
Success is relative, but
They're not successful.
I beg to
When
differ.
you're, when you're a big nation,
What is a big nation? What is a big
when
nation?
you're a big nation, let's be serious. The
top.
Premier League is in England.
Speaking of the Premier League is full of a lot of foreign players. Like,
you're right, but it's still in England. Football is quite massive here.
What's that got to do with anything? Real Madrid are the champions of Europe. Spain won the Euros. Like, England came second. Like, what do you want? What do you want?
All I'm saying is
England, like the Premier League, is
success is based.
lot of money.
Success is based
no substance.
On wins.
Only when you're arrogant and think that you deserve to win.
Trophy.
But ultimately, Spain won. Rodri won Player of the Tournament. Nico Williams won Man of the Match, and Lamine Yamal won Young Player of the Tournament and the Goal of the Tournament as well. Kyle, did you see that coming?
What's up?
No, I mean, I always had a little bit of faith in Spain doing well, not winning the entire tournament. And if someone said to me at the start of the tournament, listen, I'm telling you, Spain are going to win the Euros, and they're going to do it by beating Italy, Germany, the hosts, France, and England along the way, I'd said, you're talking nonsense. So did I see it happening? No. So, but the thing is, right, and I'll be very honest, I've been saying it for some time, and it's been getting worse as the years go by. France have had a very good team in the past couple tournaments, not this tournament, and possibly maybe not the World Cup just gone. The World Cup just gone was a little better than this one, but the teams have been getting really bad. And I came into this tournament, and I said it. I looked at all the teams, and the reason why I made England one of the favourites and England to do well is because on paper, again, it's on paper, they had very good players. Whereas you look at the rest of the teams, and it looks diabolical. So like Spain did very well, but literally the potential was there for anybody to do well because the teams aren't that great, and it's potentially one of the worst Euros I've seen in terms of performances. Like, it started great in the first weeks. Germany winning 5-1 against Scotland. There were some big scores, and we're like, okay, we got. I think there was like 38 goals after the first round of games, and they were saying that was like almost as much as the goals scored throughout all 3 rounds in the last Euros. Like the last Euros in the groups was really poor for goals, and so we started on a house of fire. But then after that first round of games, it just went to pot. Like everyone started stinking up 0-0s and 1-0. It was very stinky. So I mean, I didn't see it coming, not at all. But I knew the potential was there for anyone to win it, and Spain came on top. Because realistically, if we're being true and honest to ourselves, there's not a good team out there. Not in the Euros anyway. I mean, bloody hell, not even in the Copa America either. To be honest with you, not even in the Copa America. The teams are pretty poor. Like, what was it? Wesley said, when the Euro started, talking about Portugal had a, what was it, frightening front three or something, devastating front three or something like that. I said, Wesley, what are you talking about, man? Did they even get a goal betwixt them? Ronaldo didn't get any. Jota didn't get nothing. Liao didn't get nothing.
Bernardo might have got one, I think.
Oh, Bernardo got
Leao.
one. One goal betwixt the three of them. One goal betwixt them. Betwixt the three of them, and talking about devastating front three. I said, devastating where? You got a 40-year-old up front. What's devastating about that? I don't understand. And it was the same everywhere, man.
Did
Like, you look at
Mbappe score a goal? Oh, yeah,
one penalty.
wasn't it?
One penalty. Yeah, he scored the penalty. Yeah. And you look at across the board, and it was just poor performances. But I can't even say the poor performances was unexpected. It's what I came to expect, because even the Spain team, as well as they played, right, there's some very questionable players in that first team. Like, you look at Cucurella at Chelsea, for example, and we've all said it, horrendous player. Alvaro Morata, guy's a dying horse, man. Dying horse. Like, there's some really bad players in that team. Yet they've played well and they've won the Euros. But you could say the same for all the teams. You look at France, midfield that can't create. Horrible midfield. Horrible midfield. Like, you got their defensive midfielder Kante being the creative player, bombing forward and being creative. It's Kante. Like, yeah, man. It wasn't a good Euros, man.
Kante.
Yeah, man. No, it wasn't a good Euros, man.
Ramsey, is it the start of a new dynasty for Spain?
Hard to say. It's hard to say because you never know where these guys are going to go in their careers, what the future is like for them. They've got mad potential, and as I mentioned in the chat earlier, in the second half of the England game, the starting three midfielders that they would normally have in Pedri, Rodri, and Gavi weren't even on the pitch, which is frightening for the potential future of those guys as well. Spain have that style, and I think ever since sort of they made some big changes in their youth development, probably about getting off 20 years ago or something like that, they've brought through quite a lot of young players in the similar style of football. Like, you're seeing the sort of the Xavi and Iniesta style kind of going through, not the similar type of players, but the style is still there, kind of.
What you say? Pedri's better than Iniesta? What's going on?
Well,
whoa.
You get me? Pedri's won a Euros. He's won the Euros now.
Iniesta
yeah, but Pedri started, isn't it? So Iniesta had to win one to start, and now Pedri's won one. Now Pedri's won one. They won World Cup Euro, isn't it? So over to you, Pedri, now, isn't it? To see what you can do. But listen, as I said, the future's there, man. Like, in Pedri, Gavi, Yamal, Williams, they've got, and obviously Rodri himself, they've got a core group of players that, if they keep at the level that they are, and there's no reason why they shouldn't, then they could, they could be a problem.
As it stands, I think, like, obviously it's not now, but I would say they probably go into the World Cup as favourites at this point, because Messi's going to be 2 years older. So Argentina, I mean, I say that Messi wasn't even their best player this tournament. So what does that really mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, it's 2 years is a long time.
It is a long time.
Yamal was 14 2 years ago. So God knows who's coming through. God knows who's coming through for them. But yeah, but you said there's a lot of teams at the moment that look a bit messy, no pun intended.
But as I said earlier, I think there's a transition going on where you just got a lot of young players coming through. The older players are kind of gone, and that middle ain't like world class. No one really grabbing. So you're either gonna go into a tournament where you're like, well, whose young player is actually better? You're not gonna know until they actually play the game, because that's what young players are. It's all potential until they actually do it.
Exactly.
So yeah.
And but then obviously Spain is still using, like, Carvajal's an important player. Yeah. He's a man who's been there and won a lot of stuff at club level. He was a massive part of that team. even though they got to the final without him, he's a massive part of being able to have that balance in that team. And Morata, for all his faults, he's the captain of that team. And
No,
you know,
but
he and the funny thing is, it's actually quite funny. When I saw him get subbed off, it's the way he just accepted this is my role. Like I'm happy. He was like,
it was.
I've done my job. Like I've done my job.
He's literally there to be a nuisance. That's
Yeah.
literally his role. He's there
And it
to
was like
be a
it was
nuisance.
like, yep. Whatever time it was like, yep, I'm done. Or you are reasonable, your time now. I'm done. I've done my thing.
Yeah.
Like, go on. Like,
You
not
know what's crazy?
imagine that was Mbappe. Nah, no, I don't want to come off. Like, Morata was like, yeah, man, let's go. Like, take me off. I've done my role.
You know what's interesting is that Morata doesn't score that goal. Not because he can't finish and he can't finish. Not because anything like that. Purely because he would have been offside. Purely because he's always offside. And it was so close that you know Morata would have gone early. You know he would have pushed a bit further. He's so bad. But as you said, everybody has their role to play. Yeah. And you can kick up a stink and think you're the Billy big bollocks, and your team ends up losing. Or you can play your role. I've done my job. Now Arizabo, go and do your thing. And I'm a champion. When all is said and done, Morata is a champion, captain, winning champion, led his team to glory. And no one can take that from him.
We said it with Giroud, the World Cup that France won it. Not one goal he scored. But
and how one of the best players.
You can't tell me how he weren't vital in that team. Yeah. We've seen how France are now when they try and play
showed in this. It showed in this tournament because we were saying that you can't be leading with like Giroud's presence was definitely missed, and it showed because players like Griezmann and Mbappe played off of Giroud. Like Giroud was the guy that held up the ball. He's the one that if the ball did go long, he stands a very good chance of winning the ball in the air. And it's just about having that different dynamic. And it's like, say for example, like with England, a couple of times the ball went long. Now, as big as Kane is, he's not great in the air, but Ivan Toney, he's amazing in the air. Ivan Toney will give you that different dynamic. And you can see France definitely missed Giroud in their team. But in terms of Spain dominating, or are they favourites for the World Cup? What you was asking, Neeks, in 2 years' time, it's definitely too close to call because, like you said, there's been a lot of youngsters that have emerged during these Euros, and it's about the next 2 years how they progress over the next 2 years because some are 16, some are 18, 19, some are 20 at the moment, and some will be a little bit more senior than others. Like Yamal will go into the World Cup 17, 18 years old. He may start 17 and turn 18 during the World Cup.
He'll be 18 going on 19.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I just think because if you look at Germany, for example, they've got Musiala and Wirtz, and there's got a couple youngsters, and it's definitely too early to call. But Spain do have a very good crop of players. They have a good crop of players,
man,
and yeah.
How old is Olmo? How old is Olmo? He's young as well, isn't it?
Yeah, he is young. Yeah, almost.
So when you look at it, you got Olmo, Nico Williams.
Nico Williams.
Is it Villarreal he plays for? No.
Who
does Olmo play for? Is it Villarreal?
Leipzig.
Oh, is it Leipzig? Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, Nico Williams.
Yamal, Olmo, Pedri, Gavi.
Almost 26.
I said Gavi. Did Gavi touch the ball in that tournament?
No, he was injured.
And then obviously Rodri holding it down at 28 years old. So that team they're going to be peaking in 2 years. They're going to be find a better striker than Morata.
They'll be very good. But Brazil's got some talent as well. I'll be honest with you, Brazil got some talent, but they're just not clicking.
Ronaldinho was right. We don't watch them. Ronaldinho was right.
What did he say? What did Ronaldinho say?
I can't watch them. I can't stomach this crap.
No, he said he didn't say that. It's all lies, man. Why are you lying on his name?
Wait, why would he say that? Well, what's the problem?
They're garbage. One of the worst Brazil teams I've seen. It might actually be the worst Brazil team I've seen ever in my life.
Is that guy playing? What's that guy?
Mate, they got Vinny Jr., man. How can it be so bad?
Yeah, and then when he's not there, you see the true Brazil.
It wasn't that
Utter
was bad.
garbage. Man missed the quarterfinal. We're gonna get into that in a second. So who's gonna say something? Ramsey, you gonna say something?
Yeah,
No, I
just
was.
on.
Oh,
I was just gonna say on Sammy's comment about Ruiz being garbage and Danny Olmo being bang average. This is the thing with Spain. They don't need everyone to be world class. With the way that they play, the style that they play. When my man came on, Zubamendi, it's like nothing changed. He just slot right in that position, and he just kept the ball moving the exact same way. When Carvajal wasn't there in terms of style of play on the pitch, when Jesus Navas came on, they just kept the same thing moving. Like Lenormand wasn't there, and they had someone came in for him, and it was just like things just don't like they're playing France. You kind of think you need everyone there. Imagine Walker wasn't there, and John Stones weren't there, and Declan Rice wasn't there. You just think England are going to fall apart. Whereas them man they just next man comes in, another one just slots right in there. Mikel Marino came on against Germany, got the winner. Like it was like Danny Olmo was never supposed to be starting in that squad. He's supposed to be the bang average player in that squad. He's supposed to be the come on and do your job in the end. But Pedri got injured and he was forced to play, and he ended up top goal scorer. It's like this is it doesn't. This is the thing with Spain. As you said before, they got one world class player similar to England in Rodri, who we know is 30 world class in there, and a lot of other potential around it. But they just got so many other pieces that it just fits together and it works. Even like. Maybe I'm being biased there, but if Simon gets injured and David Raya comes in, they're not changing the way they play. It's gonna be the same thing.
Comes in, Spain get grouped.
And that's why we need a manager like that Spain manager.
But I think it's more than just a manager. As I think it was Kyle who said it earlier, or maybe Randy. But in terms of, they all grown up playing this way. It's not like my man plays that at City, my man plays that at United, my man plays over there in Bayern Munich. Like wherever clubs they're at, from youth right through, and obviously something that England have been trying to build in the last like kind of 8 years or so through St. George's Park. They play all the same way. So when they come in, it just fits so seamlessly. It's not a mishmash of this player can do this player can't do that. He can only play in this system. When we're attacking, we need him. When we're defending, there's a running thread throughout the whole Spanish football identity. Like if you look at all their clubs in La Liga, yes, some of them are play a certain way, but you know a Spanish football team when you see a Spanish football team.
Oh yeah.
Can you say the same for England? No. Half the league are sitting back playing. Maybe they're too fair. They're probably not playing.
Half the league.
I was gonna say long. The people don't really do the whole Sam Allardyce, Tony Pulis thing anymore. But then you got some people playing the Pep way, which is the Spanish way, well, kind of the Dutch way, and then you've got some people playing the mid block, the low block, and it's like it's all mix and match. So when Southgate or whoever the next manager are picking players, how are you asking them to play? How have they been educated from children right through into adults to actually play football? It's all different. So is this manager, what it is, if this manager left tomorrow, I ain't trying to sign him for my club. He just happened to win with Spain because the environment that was created was perfect, or not even perfect, but it benefited everyone involved. He was the youth coach, like Southgate was the youth coach. And they both got to the final. Someone had to lose, innit? If he lost, then what? Like, it's just. I think there's more to it, innit? More to it. But we move on.
Ansu Fati as well.
Yeah, who's that guy? Who's that about him?
He was supposed to be what Yamal was now.
I know. There was another tournament played that Jamaica was involved in, Copa America. Very brief.
Who was involved? Sorry.
The Reggae Boys. Played 3, lost 3, grouped. The less said about that, the better. Absolutely destroyed by Venezuela in the last game. We say?
Yeah, I didn't know the Olympics was on. I must have missed
it. Yeah, we play football as well. At least we try anyway. Brazil. Well, obviously this tournament was played in the USA. Maybe it was some kind of prep for the World Cup. Don't think that went great when you consider all the things that happened in the USA over the last week. The attempted assassination of the president or the president-elect.
Wait, did you just do?
Yeah, I did it. I don't believe it.
You think
Anyway,
it's
Don't
all?
worry, I'm with you, Neeks. Don't worry, I'm with you.
Damn, man.
Man's
said
all
he
going
set
back to
last
grab his
off.
shoe when he's being shot at. Come on. Come on.
Power.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Fight. Anyway, and then you had obviously the issues at the start
Love
of
a
the
controversy, you know.
final with fans storming the stadium. It's not a great look for the team who's gonna, or the nation that's gonna be hosting the next World Cup. But I'll have to say, Argentina defend their title, Copa America champions. Ronaldo wasn't the only one who shed tears, but in the end, Messi also had tears of joy as he became the most decorated footballer of all time, I believe. 46 trophies, I think he won. He's won.
Oh damn.
So far, I think he's gone
Oh
one.
wait, so Argentina did a Spain but done Copa World Cup Copa.
Oh yeah, god damn.
God damn.
Yeah.
But they have Copa every year, so
Yeah, doesn't count.
Listen, they have Copa every year.
It's true, it's a joke. Yeah, the tournament's a joke. The tournament's a joke. But listen, football, they won in it. I'm sure if they're playing the park, you want to win that game as well. Like whatever it is, you gotta go out there and win. Tournament is a joke. Sammy says, I'm not counting this Messi Copa and his 2006 UCL. Yeah, that 2000 UCL is so bugged. I don't count that for Messi. But
Excuse me?
it doesn't count.
Why not?
It wasn't even about. He wasn't even about. Man just existed. I think he was playing one group game or some crap like that. Anyway, if he's Dan James, you take it. Ryan Brewster, you take it. Messi, you ain't got.
At the time, he was Dan James. At the time, he was Dan James.
Dan James.
He's never Dan James. But anyway, we digress. Yeah, they won. So yeah, I think he's gone one trophy past Dani Alves. So whatever number Dani Alves is on, he has gone one ahead of him. To cement himself as the second greatest player of all time behind Pele. And Lautaro Martinez.
What did he say?
Was the player of the tournament. I think came to bench in every game, scored in all but
I don't
one.
understand why he didn't start him. Like eventually you got to start starting him, right?
Because like Ollie Watkins, it was working off the bench. Like you don't change it, innit? It worked. It works, innit?
Yeah, but the guy that's starting is nonsense.
He doesn't. Yeah, but if you start him, you might not then have the same impact, and then now you ain't got him on the bench to bring him off. So and it worked. He came off the bench, scored a winner. Argentina win. So they'll be playing Spain in what they call Finalissima, which is the winners of the Euros and the winners of Copa America. At some point they'll be playing it. God knows when. But not to go too much into it, because I didn't watch other than the Brazil matches because the times it came on. I tried to say it was a final. Final got delayed by 80 minutes. I was like, no chance. Went to sleep. So I ain't got much to say on it other than Brazil were utter garbage. They drew their first game to Costa Rica, won the next one. They actually played well in the last game against Colombia in the group. And then they actually, this is how bad Brazil are. They got to the penalty shootouts without Vinny in the quarters against Uruguay. And I was like, well done, because I expected Uruguay to turn them over in normal time, because obviously there's no extra time in the joke of a tournament. But
the final.
Oh, yeah, well. What is it? I don't think this is a joke. Anyway, Brazil are embarrassing. I don't even know where they're going to go from here. I'll tell you this now. It's going to shock you, Carl. I will not be predicting Brazil to win the next World Cup.
Really? Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
But 2 years is a long time from now. You might change your mind.
You never know. But there's nothing I can believe. This team they're bad. They're so bad.
They're bad.
You got Vinny. Vinny's good. Rodrigo, talented. Endrick, talented.
Martinelli?
Forget about that guy, man. The defense is bad. The midfield is, all right, it's Bruno, Paqueta. Who else? I can't remember. Someone else.
Paulinho?
No, not anymore.
He's Portuguese.
What are you thinking? You're thinking Paulinho from Portugal. I thought you were talking about Paulinho, the ex Barcelona. There's nothing. There's nothing in this team to get excited about.
Casemiro?
Exactly.
Could have done with him, mate.
I don't even know if Paqueta's going to be there the next one. Like, he might get like a lifetime ban based on what he's been charged for. Like, God knows. It's real bad for Brazil right now. Yeah, I can't even say well done to get to quarterfinals. All he did, get out of the group. There's no last 16. Just get out of the group and you're in the quarterfinals. So bad times. But Argentina won. Messi got a goal in the tournament. Maybe got an assist as well. I can't remember. Didn't do anything of note in the knockout rounds. Got injured in the final. But because he's Messi, of course, he's in the running for the Ballon d'Or. So before you go, Jay, I'm going to ask you. And obviously, we know that Bellingham has been getting a lot of stick during the tournament, since the tournament, saying that his players in the dressing room, they don't really will take to him. Maybe he's got a bit of an ego. That's the word on the
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, apparently he does, to be fair.
So
I've heard.
And rightly so. What the fuck?
Well, let me ask you, what's does he have a chance of winning the Ballon d'Or? Who would you say are the favorite?
The Ballon d'Or is a popularity contest, so now that I'm hearing this, then there's probably no chance. But what the heck? What? How could they not like? These get better then, man. Fucking salty cunts. What's wrong with people? Let him be. When you're the best, you're arrogant. Look at all the best of the best. They're all arrogant.
He's not the best, though, is he? Musiala's better. So I've been told.
Listen, all I'm saying is Bellingham ain't no joke. He is definitely up there. He's definitely up there. And if he's arrogant about it, then so what? He's got the stuff to back it up. Look at all the times he dragged Real Madrid through this whole season, coming up Trump. The same again for England. Yeah, it may not have been the best performance, but it was like that for a lot of players. But that overhead kick last minute, like, come off it, man. Them men are salty, man. Let the people are arrogant. Like, you're good. And you're gonna be good. Some people are arrogant. That's just how it is. Like, it's life. It's not, if he was shit and arrogant, then I could understand. But the people mad because they know.
Some people are saying he's got the touch of a kiddie fiddler, some kind of things.
They're just hating, man. The guy, he's still young. He's only can get better. If he was like, I don't know, 20 shades lighter, the man would be a saint, hero, god. Like, let's be serious, man. Like,
it couldn't be much lighter about being white. To be fair.
Well, when I say lighter, you know what I mean.
I don't know. I don't understand the hate, and it's not even
I didn't even know there was. That's the craziest.
Forget the article that came out after the Euros from the Athletic in terms of how his teammates, etc. Some of it in the England dressing room or something like that. It's around the time of the Champions League semis and final. I was just hearing bare shade on Bellingham, overrated, this, that. I'm thinking, well, it depends how you rate him. If you're saying he's the next coming of, I don't know, Kaka, then all right, I hear you. Maybe he's not there, but
no one said this.
But the man is quality, and as you said, he was a Liga player this season. If it wasn't for him, especially in the first half of the season, Real Madrid don't win La Liga, especially in the way that they do anyway. He got so many late goals in the El Clasico.
Was there hate from Spanish people?
Or
was it just from?
Well, from Barcelona fans, definitely. But a lot of it was from English fans, I guess. Yeah, I don't know who.
I swear they never like any. They don't like anyone that goes abroad and does a thing. Hamilton lives in Monaco, Bellingham over in Spain. It's like a pattern here.
Sammy says he wasn't at his best in the quarterfinal onwards, and those are the 5 games EPL fans watch. I guess it is. It was the UCL said basically, yeah. Well, if he ain't doing it in those 5 games, he must be overrated. I'm like, all right, how old is he? 20? Like, come on, man, give the guy a break. I don't understand it. personally. But sometimes that's how football fans view it. You have to be the absolute silk on the ball. Like Musiala is probably more aesthetically pleasing on the ball than him.
That's the problem. It's all that.
But he didn't have a like. Where's his league title? Where's his Champions League?
Yeah, that's it. Again, at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's
so, and both of you got knocked out.
He has a league title. Thank you very much.
I'm talking about last season.
Okay, but he got one before last season.
I'm talking about last season. Where's his Champions League? Since you wanted it, where's his Champions League?
It's coming still, isn't it?
This is what I'm saying,
Wait,
man.
Did who did Bayern get knocked out to? Was it Real Madrid?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
This is the problem. It's the age-old debate of eye test versus stats and actually playing the game. Like football isn't one.
Musiala's cold, but it's like people just, if you don't pass the eye test,
that's the problem.
Is an overrate. Like you can't rate it because you didn't pass the eye test. And I'm like, I'd rather.
Oh, so is that why you don't rate Erling Braut Haaland?
I'm not eye test must take me for I have hope. But to be fair, Erling Haaland's a League 2 player at best anyway.
Wow. Okay, Roy Keane.
But
and on that note, I will depart. And I'll see you all on the next time.
All right, stay strong.
Take care, guys.
But yeah, Ramsey, Carl, Ballon d'Or. Who's favourites? Who's gonna win it? Who should win it?
It's got to be between Vinny and Rodri, and I'm struggling to separate them two, to be honest. Obviously, Vinny won La Liga and Champions League, and Rodri won Premier League and best player at the Euros as well.
Vinny won best player of the Champions League as well, by the way.
Yeah, so it's literally, for me, them two. I think them two are flip of a coin. I could easily see it going to either one. Maybe because obviously the recency of the Euros and it being like an international competition that obviously only comes around every 4 years. It's not gonna. There'll be a Champions League, winner next year that might win a Ballon d'Or when there's no European competition. Does it get that extra level? Although there'll probably be a Copa America next year anyway. But does it? Yeah, has it got the extra level? Because Vinny flopped. He flopped. He had a couple of decent games at the Copa, but obviously got suspended. I think Vinny's probably the favourite, but I would maybe have. Yeah, maybe just. I'm basically talking myself into Rodri now. I think I'm just saying.
Does Real Madrid tax come into it, and they're like PR machine versus Man City's, I guess, lack of.
Yeah, in terms of who I think, because if you ask me who I think will win it, then it'll be Vinny based on that, based on the fact that he just didn't have. I mean, Haaland didn't win it last year, and they won.
They won the treble.
So, it's going to be he's going to be in a position of difficulty. But I think Spain will win a lot of awards this year, like the coach, maybe like Coach of the Year and Team of the Year, stuff like that. So he will get a lot of credit from that side of things. But it's not just Man City now. Now it's also Spain. So there's the Spain side with Real Madrid, but there's also the Spain side with the national team as well. So he's got more of a chance than he would have had any other time. And it's season now, and it's not calendar year, so it's 31st of August to 31st of July last year. So we're pretty much done. It's just
but obviously we know that the period of voting, but the actual deadline for voting comes closer to the December time, which is a bit silly. You might as well do the voting now, kind of thing.
Well, no, they've changed it now, isn't it? Because the ceremony is in October now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So the nominees come out in September.
Okay, but okay.
In October is the ceremony.
My point still remains, not to the same extent, but if the season starts, I guess Real Madrid will play in the Super Cup, they win that. Maybe Vinny starts the season on fire. maybe Man City start a bit slow, or vice versa, the other way around. Say say Man United win the Community Shield or whatever it might be, whatever, and that will then play into people's minds as well.
Yeah.
It's like the reason, even though that's not within the voting period, it's going to play into people's minds. So even that could have a bit of.
It'll be interesting to see, because obviously Rodri, you probably expect him maybe to start. I don't think he'll even play in the Community Shield.
Yeah, probably not.
Maybe he'll start the first game. Might not even start the first game. And then who they got? I think they got Chelsea. Maybe he'll play. Yeah, as I said, it depends. And I imagine Vinny will start straight away and probably start straight away from Madrid. So yeah, it could all play into a part. But I think, yeah, and in actual general speaking, I think it's pretty close between them.
What's your thoughts, Carl?
I agree. I think it's between those two. If I had to pick one, I'd probably go with Rodri, who I think deserves it more. I think Rodri over Vinny. Trying to think, is there anyone else that generally deserves it or is going to challenge them to? Not really.
Carvajal?
Yeah, no, not really.
Based on what he's won, Carvajal.
yeah. Based on what he's won, but we all know that he ain't gonna win it.
Ain't no right back winning that thing. Not if Dani Alves and them man didn't win it. Roberto Carlos.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he ain't winning it. If he did, I mean, kudos to him. But yeah, I can't see him winning it. I think it would be between those two. And it's like Neek said, the start of the season may even play some part in it, even though it's not meant to, because it's seasonal now and not calendar year. Like there's a Community Shield and Super Cup to play, so on and so forth. A lot of early football to be played before September, October. So we'll see. But I think because I was saying it the other day to Raz, I was saying that as I was watching Spain play through this tournament and they got to the final and how they started the final as well, I was saying to Raz, you know what? I'll be very real. Rodri does this week in, week out for Man City. He's even doing it for Spain. He's so consistent and so reliable. He might actually be the best player in the world. Like generally, like in his position, definitely the best in his position. But how far ahead he is of everyone else in his position, like I genuinely think that he might actually be the best player in the world.
Casemiro.
Like, but yeah, we've been over that one too many times. We've been over that. The last time you said that, it didn't end well for him. So
trying to reverse it, isn't it? Trying to do it again.
Fair enough.
Undo what I did.
Fair enough. But yeah, because like you got Kevin De Bruyne, you got Kylian Mbappe, and you got your Erling Haalands. But Rodri's the engine in any team that he plays in. I'll be real, he's the engine in any team that he plays in. He's literally that good, and he is old. He's old, trusty. Only 28. He's in his prime right now. He's playing the best football he's ever played. I generally think that he might actually be the best player in the world. And the thing is, those types of players, they never get the real credit that they really deserve. You never really see people go out on a limb and say, you know what, he might actually be. Like, yeah, you don't have to say categorically the best player in the world, but at least say, you know what, he's challenging. He might actually be the best player in the world. When you had people like Virgil van Dijk at his absolute best, and you've got Rodri now, and you had N'Golo Kante at his absolute best, like those players, you could argue at the time were challenging to actually be, you know what, they could actually be the best player in the world right now. And I think Rodri's there right now. I think Rodri, you has an argument to say, I'm the best football player in the world right now. Generally, like
I think that's valid, 100%. I think he's definitely going to be. I was saying he's going to be in the podium. I think he's top 2, in the Ballon d'Or. Third would probably go to Bellingham, based on the fact that he won the Liga Player of the Year, scored a few clutch goals. Obviously, clutch goals for Real Madrid, clutch goals for England in the Euros.
Won the Champions League.
Yeah, so he's got a lot going for him, because who's the other options really between him? I guess Toni Kroos, Carvajal.
I think you're forgetting someone, mate. His name goes by the names of Lionel Andreas Messi.
They can't
Ramon, stop.
They can't
Ramon,
put him on the
stop.
podium.
Man, Ramon, stop it, man.
No,
What
don't
did he do?
forget him. What I say?
What
Don't
did he do at
forget him.
MLS? Didn't he finish like bottom 2 in MLS?
I don't even know.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Inter Miami finished like bottom 2 or something. Come on, man,
Nobody
stop
knows.
it.
Nobody's watching. Lautaro Martinez got. I mean, if you're gonna do that, because he did a. That's why was he top goal scorer with Inter, and
yeah, it might have been.
And then obviously player of the tournament for Argentina, obviously. But yeah, Messi's PR means that he's got. Let me see. Did I see top goal scorer? Yeah, he got top goal scorer last season. In the Serie A. Messi's PR means that he's always got a chance of being up there. No, I've seen his goal in the Copa. It was Enzo's shot, and he just tapped it in as it was already going. Well, it was only on target anyway, probably going in. So yeah, they this is the one Ballon d'Or they can't Ginos to Messi. There's no way, because they've been doing Ginos in that man award for a long time. Like the
What
Ballon
about
d'Or.
Cristiano Ronaldo? He got a shot.
Man, got shafted. Oh, he got a shout.
Yeah.
I think he got top goal scorer in the Saudi league. So, and he got an assist for Bruno Fernandes in the Euros when he should have just shot and scored. Considering everything that happened after, he should have just took the shot and buried it. But Messi can't hit that podium. Like, if you have to give him top 5, give him top 5, whatever PR. But he can't. For me, it has to be. I mean, yeah. For me, I think better than third. I guess Kane's probably got a shout considering top goal scorer Bundesliga, but he didn't win anything, so probably not.
Carvajal, Jamal.
Okay. No, he probably win Golden Boy. But
yeah, he'll win Golden Boy for sure.
And he might well. No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't even be top 10 Ballon d'Or, would he? Because that really should be based on 7 games. Like, what did he actually? No, he did play well. He did play well for Barca, to be fair.
No, he did. He did play well.
Back end of the season.
He played well, but Barca didn't win anything, so.
No. But yeah, I mean, he won something. But yeah, he definitely.
Maybe the Man City, the other Man City guys, maybe. Haaland, Foden, maybe.
International tournament just weighs heavy, innit? It just weighs heavy.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And rightly so.
Yeah, definitely.
Any of them Leverkusen man, them Jabi Alonso, any of them man got a shot?
But
yeah, it's international though. They didn't. Grimaldo, was he even in this?
Well, Wirtz was in the Germany.
Yeah, Wirtz was in the German team.
Yeah, but I mean, they didn't do anything.
Yeah, they didn't do enough. I think Vinny will win it. Best player in the Champions League. Did his bit in La Liga. Obviously, the Copa it kind of makes it a bit more difficult. The fact that, like, even if he got to the semis and didn't win it, he said fair enough. To literally, you played 3 group games and that was it, because the next round's of quarterfinals and they got knocked out. With you suspended, that doesn't help him at all. But I think he might edge it. It would be tough on Rodri but I think the thing is, I'm not even saying Rodri wouldn't deserve it, but I feel like it's a 2-year award if because Rodri's probably been the best player in the world over the last 2 years. Is he the best player in the world this season? Maybe, but I don't know. Kobe Mainoo dominated him in the FA Cup final. I don't know. Spain won when you came off. Like, I don't know, innit? I don't know. Question marks over Rodri's future in the game. That's what I'll say. But last thing we'll do quickly, just have a quick little.
So who won Copa del Rey last year?
As in the season just gone?
Yeah,
I can't remember. There's 2 teams who.
It was some.
Wasn't Real Madrid, innit?
No, they got knocked out.
No,
they got knocked out. Yeah, them 2 got knocked out. Barca and Madrid got knocked
Bilbao.
out.
Did they win the final?
Mallorca.
Okay, yeah. So these were our
Nico Williams, man of the match. Final.
So these were our predictions.
Jesus.
The champions, me and Jay had Portugal, Ramsey, Nat, and Bianca had France. Carl had Germany, who were all wrong.
I was the closest.
Yeah, you lost. Dark horses. Denmark, Netherlands, Croatia, Ukraine, Serbia, Hungary. I guess Jay got that with Netherlands.
How have you said Ukraine? What are you thinking of Ukraine, Kyle? What was going through your head when you said Ukraine?
I don't
Flop.
know. I just said any team, bro. I'm
Hold
not
on.
gonna lie.
Flops. Neeks had Germany, Jay England, Cal Italy. I think he wins that one. Nat England, Bianca England. Ramsey.
Can we just pause and look at that Ramsey prediction there for
Oh yeah,
flops?
I was coming right back to it. But you know what?
Okay.
He's off screen, so we're gonna wheel that back when he returns. Golden Boot, Mbappe, Kane, Ronaldo, Mbappe. So obviously Kyle got the worst because Ronaldo didn't score a goal. Actually missed the penalty. Mbappe scored one penalty, but Ramsey won that one with top goal scorer Kane joined. Best
Jammy,
player,
man, absolutely jammy.
proper. Best player, Fernandez, Mbappe, Bellingham, Cruz. I guess Bellingham came closest out of the selected, but let's be real, none of them. And best young player, I got that one spot on.
Nice.
Yamal and Jay Nat had Musiala, Kyle and Bianca had Verts, and Ramsey had Bellingham. But we're just gonna circle back to flops. Ramsey, you had a howler. You had Spain as the flops of the tournament, and they won the whole thing. Answer for your crimes.
So based on what I was saying earlier, they didn't have the individual quality. What I thought the reason why I went Spain is because I looked at their squad and thinking, you man don't have the individual quality. All you got is Rodri. And in the end,
didn't even need him.
Didn't even need him, and it was the team quality that shone through rather than individual quality. And to be honest, I'm shocked. I'm completely shocked. I did not see.
We can tell you didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, I did not see that. Honestly, I genuinely believe they were going to flop. Like in my heart of hearts, I think they're going to. I can't see them doing well at all. And yeah. I mean, I can't even. What can I say in it? I got it wrong.
That's embarrassing. Listen, last thing we're gonna do before we say, just before we go. So obviously there was a video that went around of Argentina players singing about some French players. I think specifically Mbappe, but I think French players in general. About, I guess, based on the translations that I've seen. Basically them the songs translating that they're not French effectively, and they're listing all the African countries that they're actually from as opposed to being French. And Enzo Fernandez was kind of front and center of the video. I think it was actually his live stream on Instagram. And as a result, we're hearing that all French Chelsea players have actually unfollowed Enzo on social media. Wesley Fofana posted a small little cat post on Instagram and Twitter, actually, kind of speaking about it. I'm not sure exactly what he said, but speaking of about the racism in the chant. And the French Federation, so the press release from the French Federation says the president of French Football Federation, Philippe Diallo, strongly condemns the unacceptable racist and discriminatory comments made against the players of the French team as part of a song sung by players and supporters of the Argentine team after their victory in Copa America and broadcast in a video on social networks. Faced with seriousness of these shocking remarks, contrary to the values of sports and human rights, the president of the FFF decided to directly challenge his Argentine counterpart and FIFA and to file a lawsuit for abusive remarks of a racial and discriminatory nature. So we will see what the outcome of this is. If anyone,
Enzo might get sold.
Yeah, I mean, advantage Chelsea. If anyone knows the history of Argentina when it comes to black people, they wouldn't be surprised about this. And we can only hope that those who are guilty, whoever they are, regardless of what club they play for, if Martinez is a part of it, he should be rightfully punished. If Enzo, he should be punished. Garnacho should be punished. Doesn't make a difference to me. Yeah, but they wouldn't be surprised.
Wait, Garnacho's Argentinian?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Copa America winner. But yeah, if any of them are part of it, and any others outside of that, they should be rightfully punished. So we'll see what FIFA and the case, how this ends up in the end. But yeah, more power to those, especially the French players who took their stand against Enzo and any other Argentinians who they may have also taken a stand against. And we can only hope that justice is served. That is it from us. The international tournaments are over. Pre-season has started. The transfer window is in full effect. Man United have already made their first signing. But one person who will not be going to the new season with a job is Gareth Southgate after he steps down as England manager. The hunt for the new England manager has started, and the new club season is upon us. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you soon.